Experience 10 days of Grand Europe trip for easy EMI of Rs 25,000 only with GT Holidays, South India's #1 travel brand.
Wonder Diamond, South India's largest lab-grown diamond brand, stores at Chennai, Coimbatore, Bangalore and Hyderabad.
Hello and welcome to Galattaplus. In this review episode, we are going to be talking about Saheed, Arafath's Thankam, starring Vineeth, Sreenivasan and BijuMenon. As always, this review may have spoilers, so do proceed at your own discretion. Now, the opening visual of this film and the opening stretch after that of this film again, they tell two different stories. The visual is that of loneliness. We see a man facing the sea, his back is to us. There's this whiff of melancholy about the image, something we sense even though it's just a few frames. And then we cut suddenly and dramatically to this very same man in the midst of the very opposite of loneliness. He's in the midst of bustling crowds, in the midst of the gold business of Thrissur. His name is Kannan and he's played by Vineeth Sreenivasan, and he sells the gold made by his friend Muthu, played by BijuMenon. The opening credits play over a song dedicated to Dhanalakshmi, the goddess of wealth. But notice the sign outside Muthu's workshop. The name of his company is handwritten on a sad piece of cardboard. The business may deal with one of the most precious of metals, but it's clear that people like Kannan and Muthu, who actually deal with the business, are not exactly millionaires. Hence that opening visual of Kannan staring at the sea. It is a hint of a state of mind. It is a hint of things to come. But in Shyam Pushkaran's very clever and very deceptive screenplay, these things don't come at you the way you expect them to. We first get a glimpse of the relationship between Muthu and Kannan, who are family friends. Aparna Balamurali plays Kannan's wife, but like in most of Shyam's writing, she exists in a corner of the film. But I did like the fact that she does not dissolve easily into tears, which tells us that circumstances that are not spelt out for us in the narrative have hardened her. The most important female player in the film is Ambika Chechi, played by Indra Prasad, who's a heavyweight in the gold trade. We may not see much of her either, but her presence looms large when she says things like, "Once I cut off a relationship, it remains cut forever." She does not trust Kannan, so it's up to Muthu to make deals with her while pretending to badmouth his friend. One such dealing tells us about all three corners of this triangle, about Muthu and Kannan, about Muthu and Chechi, and about Kannan and Chechi. People are colored by the oddest and most interesting traits. Muthu is a family man, but he likes whoring around. The film does not judge him, just like it does not judge Kannan for being a devout Hindu while doing borderline shady things that we are taught God will punish us for. This devout Hindu also touches a crucifix pendant for luck. His belief is not limited by his religion. In an exquisite scene, after Kannan bribes a cop with a gold chain, the cop, you know what he does? He snaps off the Dhanalakshmi pendant and returns that pendant to Kannan. Now, this is not something that's peculiar to the gold business. Even if we do bad things, we don't want to piss off the gods. That's something ingrained in many Indians, and this pendant gets a superb narrative arc of its own, especially towards the end. The story is very contained, very intimate and personal. It could have taken place within the sprawling industry, within any sprawling industry, but the risks and the big monies involved with the gold trade, they raise the stakes. So there's more drama in the mix of the internal and the external. What's internal, I will tell you later. For now, let's just say it involves Muthu and Kannan. But the external aspects of the story play out through two stretches involving the police. The shorter stretch is when Kannan gets arrested, and the longer stretch is when Kannan goes missing in Mumbai. Now, both aspects of the screenplay have an aftermath. In the first stretch, we learn things that will put the ending in context. In other words, even though these things are very external scenes involving interrogations and so forth, you keep getting details that will dovetail into the second stretch with the police, and it will also tell us a lot about the internals of the characters. For instance, just look at how Muthu expresses his concern for Kannan at the police station. He's just standing still. He simply stands still, but his face betrays all the emotion he's experienced at this point. It's the exact same thing in a later scene at a morgue. The big-built BijuMenon's very masculine stoicism plays off beautifully against the smaller-built Vineeth's more feminine openness. He makes you want to give him a big hug and say things like, there, things will be okay. The third brilliant performance in Thankam comes via Girish Kulkarni, who plays a Mumbai cop investigating a Mallu case in Tamil Nadu. These are his words, they are not mine. Biju gives an internalized performance because that's who Muthu is. Vineeth gives a semi-internalized performance because Kannan is revealed to us gradually. He's revealed to us in layers, like in the scene where he shouts at Muthu and instantly apologizes when he realizes how much his outburst has hurt his friend. As if to compensate, Girish Kulkarni explodes like a grenade. Muthu may get the film's biggest mass moment when he apprehends a suspect in a movie theater, but Vijay Sakhalkar, that's the Girish Kulkarni character, gets many mass moments all through, especially when he tackles a stubborn and uncooperative senior cop. This constant mix of the internal and the external and the internal, this sets Thankam apart from a pure procedural like Raji Ravi's excellent Kuttam Shiksham. Like with Gold sometimes, the procedural track here contains impurities. In fact, you could say that the whole procedural is a kind of deception, almost like the deception at the heart of the story. When the rug is pulled out from under our feet at the end, when we learn that this is really a friendship story, when we learn that the procedural is a bit of a red herring, I sat there stunned, overwhelmed by emotion. You think you know people and then you discover they come with their own impurities. This is the big internal payoff I was talking about. Relationships are complicated and the innocents get easily deceived. No one is painted in simplistic shades. A small subplot about a man having an affair, that turns out to the advantage of the police, and we also get the small and very unexpected detail that this man's supposedly Tamil wife, she knows Hindi. Another investigative stretch results in a bit of family comedy when a girl very casually reveals that she has a boyfriend, and this boyfriend's shirts are as colorful as his language and his character. Now, Thankam is a terrific return to form for Shyam Pushkaran, whose Joji left me somewhat cold. It was too tight, it was too composed. Thankam is looser, and it allows for a lot more space for character details as well as details about the business world the film, the story is set in. If you are an emotional fool like I am, you will carry home the film's closing image, which complements the opening image of the man staring at the sea. The finality of the speech that accompanies the close-up of the face, the fact that this facet was hidden all along, the truth that we can never really know people, this is all utterly devastating. The more practical people among us, among the audience, may say, if you have a problem, why don't you simply share it with someone? But everybody is different, everybody's life is different, and that's why human beings are so fascinating to put under a microscope. Like the gold jewelry Muthu makes, we are all filled with impurities. And that's it for Saheed Arafath's superb Thankam. If you like this review, do subscribe to Galattaplus and see you soon at the movies.
Experience 10 days of Grand Europe trip for easy EMI of Rs 25,000 only with GT Holidays, South India's #1 travel brand.
Wonder Diamonds, South India's largest lab-grown diamond brand, stores at Chennai, Coimbatore, Bangalore and Hyderabad.